Yo, what's up guys? Sam here. I don't know what's going on at this point. There's no rules anymore. Anything can happen. Apple has actually sent out invites to some very specific members of the press for a special event being held in December. It's going to be on December 2nd. It starts sometime in the afternoon. It is a weird one. So I want to run through my expectations for the event, the rumors that we're hearing, and ultimately if this means anything. Drop a like if you're excited for that. Hit subscribe for more. Let's go ahead and get started. So there's a lot of weird things about this event, but primarily is the fact that Apple doesn't seem to have invited many people. In fact, over on Twitter, while hundreds of journalists usually share their Apple event invites at the same time, only one person to date has shared an image of their invitation, with another user who got invited sharing a bit of the email that said, "Let's keep this between us for now. No social media posts just yet," indicating that maybe we're not even supposed to know about this event at this time. But Lance Alhoff, who writes over at LifeWire Tech, is the sole person to have shared this image right here. It says, "Loved by millions, created by the best. Join us for an Apple special event honoring our favorite apps and games of 2019. And then share the caption, "This is unexpected. Apple event December 2nd in New York City." So the fact that Apple's holding a December event, the location, what they're talking about, an event to seemingly talk about apps and games, all of this is unprecedented and something we've never seen in this form before. So pushing everything else to the side, what is this event actually going to be about? Well, Lance followed up over on Twitter and said, looks like it's going to be a small crop of people that Apple has selected to just look at apps and see what apps have been out there in the past year that have made an impression on the editorial teams at Apple, and that Apple wants to celebrate these developers for doing a good job. And in fact, this is most realistic because Apple's actually been doing this every year for a while now. Check out this press release, most recently from 2018. Apple, in the first few days of December, always shares what their favorite apps of the year have been and award developers, best app of the year, favorite game of the year, based on what Apple felt. So this year, it looks like Apple's going to be doing the same thing again, but just not online through a press release. I'm sure we're going to see a press release, but on top of that, a special event to basically celebrate the best work of some developers. So Apple's inviting them out to New York City on December 2nd to hand them trophies or gifts, or I would assume some sort of award in person. It would be weird for Apple to just get up on stage and say, "And best game is this, and best app is this. Oh, don't forget about that health category we love. Looks like Fitbit won it yet again." I'm having a hard time picturing how this event is going to go, and we actually don't even know if Apple's going to record it, A, or B, live stream it for the public to see. It could seriously be a private event for a very small group of journalists to take some photos when the Angry Birds creator can go up there and say, "Wow, I just can't believe that so many kids have been impacted by my work." I do think for sure, though, Apple's going to be honoring developers or their favorite apps in some regard because it perfectly lines up with what they've been doing in the past. But this time they decided we're going to do, a lot of fanfare around this and really make a point to celebrate some great apps and games. So based on what Apple's done historically, based on this invitation, it looks like that is going to be the crux of this event. But I have a hard time believing that that's going to be the entire event. Whenever Apple invites media to a special briefing of some kind, especially when they call it a special event rather than just, an Apple private briefing, they announce something of their own. And Apple in this event looks to be only highlighting the work of others. I can't remember a special event from Apple in their history where they've only talked about what other people have done with their tools but not announced anything of their own that's new. Of course, Apple always talks a bit about what you can do with their products in nearly every special event that they hold and in multiple press releases throughout the year. Even in March of this year, you might say, well, yeah, Apple's already held an event where they haven't announced new hardware. Yes, but they announced 4 new services or products. They announced the Apple Card, they announced Apple News Plus, they announced Apple TV Plus, and Apple Arcade. And while technically there was no new hardware, I guess you could count the Apple Card, they still announced offerings of their own. This special event seems to only be about what other people have done, and for Apple to call it that and even invite some journalists at all out feels weird. Like, you'd think there'd have to be something of their own new, right? That's my line of thought. Let me know what you guys think down below. So I'm not here to hype this event up and tell you that we're getting a new iPad Pro and a second version of AirPods, like AirPods 3 for 2019. I don't think we're going to be seeing any big products here. I think there is potential, though, for an Apple TV. I mean, you can play Apple Arcade on the Apple TV, and I've heard that on the current generation Apple TV, some games don't run the best. We've seen evidence inside of iOS that a new Apple TV is in the works. I think that's plausible. I also am not going to sit here and say I really think this one's going to happen, because everything about this event is new. Everything about it, there's no historical context here. So there's nothing to say, well, in the past Apple's done this, so they'll probably do it again, which is a safe way to make predictions about what Apple usually does, because they follow a very cyclical cycle of like new iPhones every September. That is a given. This time, all bets are pretty much off. I can also only speculate that AirTags could potentially be announced. These are Apple's Tile competitor, where it will allow you to attach these Bluetooth mini little squares or circles to some of your favorite products and then look at them through the Find My app. Considering all the evidence we have that it's nearly ready to go software-wise, and that would line up with right around when I think iOS 13.3 will be releasing. And iOS 13.2 added support for AirPods Pro when nobody knew those were coming initially. It's a surprise launch there. Maybe we see AirTags drop right around the time of this event. But I cannot sit here again and say I have high confidence in this. There's no rules for how this event is going to go. It could literally just be Apple saying, "You're a good developer. Thanks for helping us make billions of dollars. Here's a little glass award for your time." It could just be that. It could be an event where we see new products. I don't think it will be. The chances are very, very, very low that we will see no hardware of any kind at this event. But I think that there has to be something Apple would announce. Maybe even just stats for the App Store. Maybe that's what they talk about at this event. I'll let you guys know more about this on December 2nd as soon as we get more information. Apple did tell us that the new Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR would be coming in December. So possibly this is the release date. It is a Monday, so we could see the products launch then. But again, we don't really know for sure, and Apple could seriously wait until the end of December to give us any new hardware, because the Mac Pro and Pro Display XDR are confirmed, where everything else is totally a guessing game. Right now, it appears that maybe we weren't even supposed to know about this just yet. But until we get more information, everything else is speculation. But I did want to let you know for sure, on December 2nd, confirmed, Apple's holding a special event, and it's likely going to be to highlight apps and games, but there could be some other surprises sprinkled in there as well. That's all I have for you guys in this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe for more. This is a whole new Apple. I love it. This is exciting. Old Apple would never hold an event in December. New Apple does. It gives us something to look forward to nonetheless. That's all I've got for you guys, and I will see you in my next video.